Hi, Mark. Welcome to Buenos Aires. It's your first time here.
No, it's like my third.
You also third, so
yeah.
the region is interesting for you.
Absolutely.
What are the new projects that you are running around channels for Latin America?
Okay, I think there are two primary enhancements or additional priorities that we're focused on. One is the development of the high-value routes. I mean, certainly we value all of our partners, but in terms of systems integrators and ISVs, we think it's very important to be more aggressive in the recruitment of those partners, both for a couple of reasons. One, they tend to have strong services organizations, which are critical to us, especially in selling our technologies beyond the REL business. Not that they can't do it for REL, but certainly middleware drags a lot of services, storage drags a lot of services, cloud implementations, et cetera. So we really are anxious in accelerating our growth in those routes. A second, and again, that's driven by the added technologies that we brought to the portfolio. So we think there's a lot of opportunity there for us, and we're interested in doing it. I think the second priority for us is really around expanding in a logical sense our sales capacity. I think in Latin America we still tend to hire additional people. Now we're not hiring them at the same rate we were in the past to grow the business, but I don't think we've optimized around all the partners. So I think it's about segmenting our partners, segmenting the markets, the customers, the industries we're going after. Where you have gaps, recruit those partners. Where you don't have gaps and you have partners, then double down on the investment, move the accounts, map the accounts to them, and to really more tightly integrate the partners into our overall sales go-to-market model. So I've been pleased with the performance here. Latin America is a certain area we want to invest in. I think there's a lot of untapped opportunity, especially now as we bring on, what I'll call the higher value technologies. I mean, with middleware, very good middleware business here and growing. We have storage technology that's coming out. And of course, the cloud is all the rage. And
Yes, I think it's interesting for the people to know that you are bought a lot of companies and you are really bringing a new middleware portfolio to the market. Like, do you say for storage, for example, it's not so common for the people to realize that Red Hat is in the storage business.
Right, yeah, they don't typically associate us with a lot of those businesses. I mean, we're in the virtualization business.
Yeah.
But again, these decisions are really made by our customers. Our customers have been driving us to move into other technologies. They're saying, look, we've used your technology. In many cases, they're users of REL, the REL product, they're users of the middleware product, and they're saying, okay, what are we going to do on storage? What's your point of view on the cloud, et cetera? So the good news is that we have strong demand. We have a lot of great customers. Customers have been driving us to make some of these acquisitions that augment our existing stack, and so we're pretty excited about it. But again, when you think about how do you take all that to market, there's a lot of complicated technology in there. Drives a lot of services. It brings you right back to the point of partners.
Perfect. And from the point of view of the channel of the business partners, what do you think are the top priorities for them? They need to specialize to invest in certification, in things like that?
Well, actually, we have tried to minimize the partner's investment in those types of things, like a certification. So as an example, last year I put in a global enablement team. I put a vice president. I put multiple millions of dollars in it. I put about 24 dedicated people in there. And their job was to build enablement material both under three types: sales, pre-sales, technical, and delivery. So under those three pillars, to build across all the products was to go and build an enablement material. So in some cases it's demos, in some cases it's delivery assets, other cases it's just to transfer knowledge on the product and positioning in the market. Solutions are put under there. It's available in 7 languages, and there's about 150 classes in there today. We will add another 50 by June, but again, because it's like a library, you have to refresh the books. Once everybody learned
Yes.
calculus, well, you got to move up to the next level. Right? So it's but it's all free. We're not charging our partners for that. It's an investment we think is a great investment for us to make. And so I would say that's, again, one of the huge elements in our value add proposition for them.
What's your vision around the cloud technologies? What are the point that we are right now?
Well, that was actually a question, Pablo, I was going to ask you to get your view as well. Look, from a pure Red Hat opportunity perspective, we're a very active player in cloud. There's some announcements I really can't share with you today, but that we'll have coming shortly, where you'll see some very aggressive statements on our cloud play. But if you think about clouds, depending on whose numbers you want to use, anywhere from 75 to 90% of the clouds, people say are built on Linux. And at the risk of sounding arrogant here, and we don't mean to be, but when people think about Linux, they think about Red Hat. And so as a result, we're engaged in many, many, many cloud discussions, both from a cloud builder standpoint, from a hoster and MSP moving into the cloud. And we're finding many of our partners are involved in every aspect. Some cases are building out their own cloud. Other cases they're building clouds, private, public, and again. So we're very involved in this space. There's a lot of positive pressure being put on us to continue to drive in that space because, again, when you think of clouds, the vast majority of them are built on Linux.
In terms of the economic situation in the different countries in Latin America, or also you have your vision worldwide, the space to growth is we have more space to growth with this economical crisis around the world, or you try to maintain your business every year just.
Oh, no, we absolutely have to grow. And we expect our partner base has always grown faster than the company, and we expect to continue to grow faster than the company. But yeah, so for us, we're just seeing more and more opportunities. We're bringing in literally thousands and thousands of new customers every year. The vast majority of those are initiated by our partners and brought in by the partners. So there's lots of new markets. If you look at our business today, I'll give you the Latin America view, and then there's a little slight difference in North America, but it's really the government, the telcos, and financial services. Those are the three top industries. North America, obviously, with healthcare is gaining, and then there's some other industries like globally, like media and entertainment, and now energy we're moving into. So we have lots of other opportunity. If you think about those primary markets, government, telco, financial services, I guess I should say four. When you look at all those, that they have something in common, a very high transaction, security is important, and it's just something that Red Hat is, especially our raw products is great for. And of course the other products, but the operating system is the one that's most critical for the security and in the transactions. So we're in a good spot on that. I think, again, if you look at our product 2 years ago, we would have basically a couple products to sell, a couple families of technology, probably 3 routes, primary routes. Now we're looking at 5 technologies and 6 routes. So.
And every year you bought another company, and the situation is.
And a lot of the acquisitions, at least the last one, is really meant to augment existing technology versus a standalone. But you're right. So when you think about that, it drives a lot of complexity in your business. It's a good problem, but a challenge nonetheless. And as that happens, it requires us to constantly relook at our model. What's our go-to-market model? And it always comes back to a similar thing, which says segment your partners, look at each dimension of your product, your geo, your technology, your route, your geo, and look at that 3-dimensional matrix and figure out where do you invest, where do you optimize, and of course it's all lays over the whole model of your customer set. So it's an exciting time to be at Red Hat. It really is. It's been great.
What are your top priorities in terms of what you said you need to grow your business, but you think that it will be more related to services for the channels, will be more related to some industry, for example, like government, as you said. Do you think these consulting services are present in different industries?
Look, I think the most critical thing for us, and I believe candidly for most in this industry, is that the customer buying decisions are no longer isolated to the CIO. A lot of them are being made in the business silos, and I think that drives more consultative services, more consultative type people. It drives more business-minded people versus just selling products. So I think.
Also, do you think that the partner is more talking with the CIO than the technical people?
No, what I'm saying is I think as we go forward and more of these decisions are being made by the business silos, that you're going to have partners and you're going to have your own teams, being familiar and comfortable selling to maybe even the marketing pillar or the sales pillar. With that, and I think the partners have, that's part of this enablement we're doing is to help them with that migration. I think we need to do the same thing internally with our people. So we have an aggressive skills enhancement for them as well, because the market is changing. If you think about, we've all been around, right? And we've had hardware, like you said. I mean, I love your pyramid analogy because it's so true that the conversation began with the heart, and then the rest kind of trickled down, and the other decisions came. If you think about inverting that model, what it says is that there's a skills challenge, but a huge opportunity for those that address that challenge to go and face that customer in a different way. And especially when you think about the cloud, there'll be business groups that say, well, I'll use a public cloud for my requirements, and someone else might say, no, I'm going to use the in-house cloud, or someone else might say, I'll use traditional on-site kind of technology. So to me, it's a very exciting time. Someone that's been in this industry for a long time. And I think that and as a result, you're constantly seeing new partners evolve. You're seeing some partners that candidly are saying, I'll just stay where I'm at and keep doing this. Others have jumped ahead and said, I'll be a cloud broker, as an example, because I have these relationships. I'm going to leverage them, but I really don't want to build a cloud and offer it. But I want to stay involved in the decision because I'm a trusted advisor for the customer. And that I'm not going to forfeit and never will. And the customer candidly wouldn't let them, because some of these partners have been in these accounts for 15, 20 years. So I think it's an exciting time. But to net it all out, I think it comes down to the skills internally in Red Hat and the skills in the partner base. We have to train them up to the new world order and the new buying paradigm.
Perfect. Well, thank you.